What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Movie Bits. My name is David.
And I'm Tony.
And today we are doing a breakdown / review of episode 2 of
Loki.
All right, let's get into it. All right, so first episode we watched. So the second one begins in 1985 in Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is a spoiler review.
Yes, it is.
As all television reviews are spoiler reviews. You've seen it in the title of the video, and now you're hearing it right here, as well as hearing a buzzer and seeing a graphic right about now.
I guess I'll be adding that in post-edit. Okay, so we start in 1985. Looks like we're at some type of like county fair or something.
Yes.
And we have some TVA agents appear. And they're
some type of recreation.
Right.
Like a reenactment.
Right. And they're looking at a tent off in the distance, and they're scanning it, and it says that a variant is inside. The variant we know now is Loki.
Yeah.
So they go into the tent, and one of the agents gets touched on the temple by a hooded figure. And this like green light comes out of their finger and into their temple, and then she starts attacking the other TVA agents.
Yeah. Major Scarlet Witch vibes from Age of Ultron, when she would twist and distort their minds. She got in Tony Stark's head with his red magic, with her red magic, and a Hulk's head and whatnot. So you get to see that with Loki. Basically, he's casting the same spell.
Right. So very much WandaVision here. So then she starts attacking people, and then what happens after that? She
attacks people, and they ask her what's going on. She seems to be reveling in this new experience and being vicious and attacking her teammates. Then she passes out, is incapacitated, and Loki comes and drags her away through a time portal.
Right, that's what happens. And that whole sequence while she's beating people up, they're playing "I Need a Hero." Yeah. Now, every time I hear that song, I think about Shrek 2. I think when he's like running on he's going towards the castle on a horse, but they're playing "I Need a Hero," which makes it a little bit funny. That was an '80s song, right?
Yes.
So there you go, 1985. "I Need a Hero." So all of that. So Loki takes this agent through a portal, and then we have the opening sequence, and then we open again with Loki, the Loki we know, sitting in the office being trained by a hologram of Miss Minutes.
Yes, a Miss Minute hologram. We liked her in episode 1. We thought she was cool, and she's back.
And she's back.
In this episode, he actually asked her if she was alive or recording this, and she was like, a bit of both,
kind of both.
Yeah. And then he tried to whack the hologram her, and then the hologram dove into the into the old school computer monitor.
Yeah, she's jumping around on the desk, but I'm like, if you're a hologram, what does it matter? You can swing at me, you won't hurt me. So that was interesting, but I guess they're trying to establish this is an actual character. Kind of like Jarvis, was that
in a way, yeah. but much more superior tech.
Right. And hopefully she's not going to, embed herself into a machine and try to take over the world. So Loki, we find out he's training to be an agent. She's quizzing him. He's answering the questions correctly. And then we find out through a briefing, because they find out that they have to go through a time portal to find Loki.
Yes.
And they find out through a briefing that there are numerous Lokis throughout the timeline. They're all variants, and they're all mischievous, and they're all wreaking chaos and havoc.
So several Loki variants that the TVA is accustomed to dealing with. They seem to possess similar powers, but have different appearances. Some of them look very troll-like and whatnot. So it was very interesting that there are a lot of Loki variants running around.
Right. So Mobius, throughout some dialogue, convinces Loki to help him find Loki. So they go through all these files. He's like, here, read these files. Help me find out where you are, pretty much. Yeah. So Loki reads a file, and it says complete planetary destruction. And he's reading it, specifically the file about Ragnarok and Asgard. And he realizes, hey, he runs over to Mobius. He said, hey, I would hide in the timelines that have an apocalyptic scenario happening. This is where I would hide because no matter what I do, it won't negatively affect the timeline. There would be no variance. So I think I would hide
because everybody's
there.
going to die in this apocalypse, so there would be no witnesses to anything that I would do. So therefore, no ripple effect. It's actually quite genius.
Right, really smart. So he decides to show Mobius here. I'll show you. I'll prove it. So they go to 79 AD, clearly Pompeii, because there's a huge volcano in the background. You can kind of hear it rumbling. And he said, look, I'm going to show you. So he tells the people of Pompeii in their language.
After, what's the agent's name, the TVA agent, Owen Wilson?
Mobius.
Yeah. So Mobius is like, listen. You gotta make as little impact as possible. How about you just make some bird noises? Loki just runs out there. I ain't making no bird noises. He announces he's Loki, the god of mischief, announces that they're all about to die, releases their animals. Then a volcano goes off, and Mobius looks at his little variant detector handheld machine and says nothing's happening, no adjustment. So it proves Loki's theory to be correct when he tells the people everything. And in the midst of right before this apocalyptic event, it sets off no change within the timeline, and now they know that this is more than likely why we haven't been able to find this other Loki variant, because he is hiding within the framework of apocalypses.
So once they confirm that, there's a piece of candy that the variant handed to a kid in France, like somewhere along the timeline.
Yes, that piece of candy came to us in episode 1. So now it comes back around full circle, episode 2. And they split the candy bar.
And they discover the timeline where it comes from. So they look through all apocalyptic timelines where that candy would exist, and they stumble upon the timeline, which is in 2055. So they transport themselves to 2055.
I thought it was 2050.
2055. 2055. I guess that's
we'll
when the
double
world's
check
gonna
that.
end.
That's 20. I think that said 2050. But yeah, so they're at a big chain store, right? What was it called?
I don't remember. It's not important.
Some big chain store.
Yeah.
I mean, it could stand in for Sam's
There's
Club,
a huge
Walmart.
storm
You know what I
happening.
mean? And Amazon with an actual storefront. One of those things.
A
Major
holographic
corporation.
storefront. That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
To show the advancement of technology.
In the middle of Alabama, so there was this major storm coming, and to the store. Apparently, everybody was going to die in that region. So again, that's the qualifying factor. No survivors means I can hide out here and do whatever I want.
Right. So then, as they're in the store, Loki is assigned to be with our girl from Lovecraft Country. They're supposed to split ways and scan the store, and Loki is supposed to be with her. So as he's with her, they stumble upon this black guy who is in the supermarket or whatever, the store, shopping for flowers. And they're like, the lady is like, all right, could this be you? And he's like, I don't know. So they approach the guy. He's like, hey, there's like a discount, a storm sale or something.
Yeah, it's hurricane sale, 50% off. You haven't heard?
Because we do that when there's a hurricane happening.
Yeah.
So everything about it is odd and off. So finally, he touches our girl.
She approaches him. He touches her.
And there's this green energy that transfers from him to her. Clearly, this is Loki.
Now she's possessed by this Loki variant spirit energy thing. So, and apparently, when you are possessed by the Loki variant spirit energy, that person also gains superhuman strength equivalent to like
a god,
frost giant / Asgardian god
of mischief.
Yes, because he then she then goes touches somebody else's, and it transfers from person to person.
It's very much
Loki,
like, what was that movie that Denzel Washington was in where he was hunting down the devil, like a demon or something, and this person could touch other people and transfer themselves?
Insert crickets here.
What? Why?
Because I don't know.
Oh. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. Put that down in the comments
Sound
below.
off in the comments.
The movie ends with Denzel thinking that he found the guy, and the ending sequence is the guy touching different people. They're in New York City, and there's a big crowd of people walking, and you just see people touching each other, and he loses track of where the guy went. It's like a killer. He transfers his soul to other people. Kind of like what's happening in this episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember the movie.
Okay.
So this happens a few times, and then it ends with Loki transferring himself to this big guy
Yeah, it's
and
big,
they
strong
end up
guy.
fighting, which we found odd because it's like, okay, well,
he's a regular human.
He's a regular person.
And Loki's like really having like really a
hard
legitimate
time.
like fight with this guy. So I'm like, okay, I am going to accept that when Loki transfers into your body, you get Loki's strength. And it's all very magical. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
I'm going to choose to believe that because I'm a fan of the MCU.
Right. And we also find that this Loki, the variant Loki, this is important, has been teleporting these chargers. Every time he's gone to destroy, like kill a TVA agent or agents, he's taken one of their chargers,
one of their reset chargers
that can reset everything. I forgot to mention that earlier. When they go to the tent, what the first Loki was, they put this reset charger there to erase the whole tent, and it sets the timeline back to being okay. It keeps it away from this red bar they're supposed to stay away from.
Yes.
So in this episode, while Loki is fighting, Mobius finds these chargers throughout the store, like a bunch of them. So at the end of the fight, this Loki finally reveals themselves.
And Lady Loki.
Lady Loki.
Yes, I've heard of Lady Loki.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I can't tell you very much. I would recommend, if you want to know more about Lady Loki, you head on over to Rob at Comics Explained,
right.
Which we probably should have done before we watched this video. But, but yeah, basically, it is said in Marvel Comics and some of the information I've come across, I've never read a comic book featuring the character of Lady Loki, but it is said that Loki is gender fluid and can change between gender. So we get an actual Lady Loki version of Loki.
Right. So she reveals herself. At the same time, she starts teleporting all of the chargers away out of the building. And at the same time, the TVA in their office, they're sitting down typing and everything, and they look up, and all these alarms are going off. Because now we see that this one line, this blue line that we're watching, is now branching out. All these yellow lines are coming out of it.
So the sacred timeline is now having branches, all Nexus events, all over the place. So, and they say that the timeline is currently being bombed.
Right.
So, yeah, and that's how we end the episode, with Lady Loki bombing the timeline, and Loki escaping through a time door after Lady Loki, with Mobius like, Loki, no, they said this was going to happen, and now I'm going to be in big trouble.
Right,
so,
right. So, it was a good episode. For me, it feels like... not a lot of action, more of like a setup episode for like the bigger thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable to watch. I did zone out a few times. A lot of dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, it was a standard episode too. We got a nice introduction, and now we got some more developments. We found out how Loki hides. We found out that it's Lady Loki, and we've got some developments with the TVA in terms of, we got to see Loki really progressing and getting his feet wet as a TVA agent. We've gotten to see some more banter between him and Mobius. I think Owen Wilson's character of Mobius is really good to deal with Loki. I like their energy together. I like that he's so nonchalant about just how slick and untrustworthy Loki really is. And
it's like your classic, what do you call it? Cop, what is it? Partner movie? Buddy cop. Kind of movie, kind of feel going on.
Yeah, except they're both kind of funny, and at times both kind of serious.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I really like that aspect of it. So it's going to be interesting. Where is Loki going? What's Loki's plan? And I did also like the little bit of discussion that Loki seemed to bring up with Mobius when he said, who created you? And he said, we were created by the timekeepers. Right. That's an obvious foreshadowing. Right. So the timekeepers, I think there's already enough information to say that they have some nefarious intent. They're not what they say they are. And these people were not, in fact, created by the timekeepers, but more than likely, I mean, we're talking about people who can manipulate time. They have power over all of time. So more than likely, they stole these people. And did something with their memories and forced them to be slaves to the TVA unknowingly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think
prediction
the what is it, Multiverse of Madness, is that what it's called? Doctor Strange's movie that's I don't think this has something to do with it? Is this the chaos?
I don't know. It hasn't been said, by anyone that this is going to tie, that Loki ties into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I have not heard anything about that. They have confirmed that WandaVision ties into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, as well as the third Spider-Man film, Far From Home.
So I wonder where they're going with this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean,
so we'll be finding out over these course of 4 more episodes.
There's supposed to be another Thor movie, right?
Thor 4 is coming out. Love and Thunder, and we should be getting to take a look at Lady Thor.
Lady Thor.
So lots of lady versions of characters going on.
Yeah, a lot of females being inserted into the MCU with, you know, Captain Marvel and her movie that's going to be her and a team.
Yeah. See, now this is getting into a general discussion about Marvel, which we will have to save for another video.
That is true.
More content, right?
right. But we liked the episode, typical second episode, and we look forward to seeing what it does.
All right. Well, I enjoyed it. I think for a second episode of 6, I do think that it was a good episode. I love the seeds that they laid, which we went over. I'm in it. I love the reveal of Lady Loki, you know, and the further development of the TVA. And in episode 2, the TVA is already being bombed. So we're moving this thing along pretty quickly. I'm looking forward to episode 3.
What do you give episode 2?
I really, again, I have to give episode 2 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to give it a meh. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was just an episode 2.
Some people want their episode 2s to be
amazing.
More, but I give it 2 thumbs up because the episode 2 did its job. So the creators did a wonderful job moving the story forward, and I want to give them full credit for that. Now, of course, we're going to be hugely pleased once we get to the conflict and a resolution, but it was a good episode too.
Yeah,
very good.
I loved it.
I enjoyed it.
All right, guys. If you like our review, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And also check out some more of our videos. And we'll be back next time with a new episode of Movie Bits. Bye, guys.
Bye.